Good morning, Fredonia family. This is Brother Chris, and I just want to say what an honor and a privilege that it is to be able to share with you my tithing testimony, especially when I think of the faithful church members who came before me in these videos that share their testimony. It really is quite an honor to be able to do this. For those of you who have heard my tithing testimony before, you know what a powerful example that my dad was to me growing up, both before I became a Christian and after I became a Christian. My dad was a very faithful and organized giver, and he remains that way to this day. He always wanted to make sure that he gave exactly what he felt like he owed the Lord. And so I had that great example growing up of just seeing him give faithfully and obediently, and he maintains that to this day. After I became a Christian and I went into college, another big influence on my life was my pastor at Calvary Baptist Church, Knoxville, the church that I attended in college, and the pastor there named Bob Birch. Bob Birch was a very gifted biblical preacher, and he really demonstrated through his teaching of the Word how giving and tithing is not just some tradition that we do, but he really demonstrated how biblical that it is and how it is a healthy, normal part of a New Testament believer. A big transition in my life occurred in 2005 when I married Emily. And Emily is such a wonderful wife in so many ways, such a blessing to me. And one of the blessings that occurred when I married Emily was the fact that we were totally on the same page when it came to tithing. Emily is a very dedicated giver and tither. Sometimes we would look at our monthly budget and say, we don't know if we can really afford to tithe. We don't know how that's going to work. But ultimately, we decided that we really can't afford not to tithe. We just did not want to miss out on that joy and that pleasure in giving to the Lord and tithing obediently. So we decided to simply keep going, to keep tithing and to give above and beyond to paying off the building and also to supporting missions and the other things that the church decides to get behind. I just want to tell everybody at the church, if you have been faithfully tithing and giving, thank you. Your obedience is so appreciated, not only by me, but also by the Lord. But I also want to just offer a little challenge to the people who are not giving, who are not tithing, that I'm sure that you live by faith in many areas of your life, but you may not be living by faith when it comes to your finances. And I just want to tell you from firsthand experience that Emily and I don't always know how it's going to work, but we give and we tithe, and the Lord has taken care of us, and the Lord has been so good to us. And I want you to also have that joy and that blessing that comes from being a faithful giver.